Salud mi gente, you boys coming through once again. And on today's video, we're going to talk about Ahmed Belloso. This is the face of the channel on the Tira. He has a TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube channel. The guy is front and center when it comes down to the case of Emmanuel Haro. This person is very dedicated to this case. He's been doing his own investigation. He's been present on every scene. And he's been informing the people of what's going on, right? A little bit of background on Ahmed Belloso. He was in prison. He came out. And at least he's trying to do something out of his life, right? Instead of just being out there on the calles, valiendo shits. Nah, he's doing his thing. Started this channel. And he's doing pretty well, man. Hundreds of thousands of subscribers, followers, whatever the case might be. He's doing his thing. Now, he's getting a little backlash. It's not from the gente. It's not from the people, right? He's getting backlash from the department and from news outlets. TMC, to be specific, right? Trying to bring him down. They're trying to discredit his professionalism, his reporting and stuff like that. And that's not cool, man. That's not cool when this man is just trying to inform the people and actually is very invested in this case. If it wasn't for him, I don't think this case would be as public as it is, man. This guy has basically put a spotlight to this case. And thank you for that. Thank you for that, because that kid was a Hispanic kid. And we know that, like, 10 out of 10, that kid would not be, nobody would be speaking about that kid. Simple as that, man. Just keeping it 100, you know? So, yesterday when they had that press conference, right? The detectives or the sheriff department, whatever the case was, they invited all these big news outlets, right? NBC, CNN, Fox, everybody. So they can go over there, ask their questions, and so they can basically confirm that the parents, Rebecca and Jake Haro, were officially charged with the 187, right? Oh, and of course, they're going to ask questions, the questions that the people want to know.
Maybe also on the Tira, I've been working this case diligently. I have a two-part question since
No, one question, sir.
Okay,
one question.
One question, thank you. You said that you do know where the remains are?
I didn't say that, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, forgive me.
I didn't say I know where the remains are.
Can you tell us, in fact, a little...
So I'll start here on the front row. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Stephanie with CNN. My question is, first of all, do you have any idea where baby Emmanuel is at this point?
You know, yes, we have a pretty strong indication of where the remains of baby Emmanuel are. So that investigation is ongoing at this time. Yes, go ahead.
Now, talk a little more detail, so that if you do know anything tonight, so I can stop looking. You please? Because I'm here every day. No disrespect towards me, I understand who you are. But can you please, if you have information here where you know something, can you please, so I can get some rest?
Well, you should get some rest, sir.
Thank you.
You should get some rest. But no, I can't share with you anything.
That's fine.
Look, there are professionals that are looking for the remains of this child. If the public has any information, then we ask for their help. So we don't know exactly where the remains are. We have some ideas in terms of where we're going to look and where we're going to continue to investigate. Yes, sir.
On the Tira, he showed up, right? He asked a question. And the whole time he was right there, it felt like the guy who was speaking, it was looking down on him. You know, it was not giving him the respect that he deserved. Like on the Tira, he's just doing his job, man. He's very dedicated to this case. So when he asked specifically if he knew where baby Emmanuel was at, they didn't even let him finish the question when they interrupt him and said, I never said that. I never said that. You know what I mean? There was a negative energy towards him when he was right there. Why? Because he's not part of a big news outlet. He created his own, and he's reporting to the gente. He's doing a good job. Everybody's using his content and stuff like that. And the man is very dedicated. So to that, I mean, he apologized. I mean, on Tira was very respectful. Okay, my bad. I apologize. You know what I mean? But somebody from CNN, a lady from CNN, if I'm not mistaken, asked the same question. And it was a different type of tone and a different type of energy. She asked the same question. Now, the guy on the microphone responded with, yes, we have some leads. There's detectives investigating this, basically saying that they have an idea where Emmanuel Haro is. That's what he answered to this lady, but on the Tira, he was like, no, I never said that. Just with arrogance in the voice, right? So it just shows you right there how favoritism, what they're playing, and how they feel about on the Tira. The guy who's been front and center, putting the footwork out there, and he's getting backlash because of this. I do understand that maybe they might be frustrated. Why? Because on the Tira sometimes goes out there, does his own investigation. So let's just say, what about it was a good lead and there was evidence, stuff like that. Now that place is at risk of being contaminated, right? To be honest, I seen that point of view. I'm not blind, I'm like, nah, you can have to see it from both sides. But that's not enough. How many news outlet has done that before? There was another. They even told him that he should rest. He should rest. That he should not be involved in the case. Like they don't want him to be around. They don't want him to be involved. And because of this, on the Tira got out and was upset. Was upset because the energy that these people were giving him. He went outside, was expressing his feelings on a live. And the good thing is that the people came out, recognized him, cheer him up, and I remember seeing this one lady who said she came out of work to bring her daughter to take a picture to the homie Ahmed Belloso, right? He seemed like a good person, man. He's just trying. He's just doing his reporting. He's doing what he wants, Instead of this news outlet of actually hiring him and be like, you know what? We're going to hire you to do this reporting. You have more access. You got more knowledge. Boom, here goes a certain amount of money. Do your thing. Give us the footage. Give us the information. That's it. No, but they want to bring him down. They want to bring him down, And it's not cool, man. It's not cool. At least the people, the gente, recognize his work, respect what he's doing, Like me, I do respect what he's doing. The thing that the police department is upset about, right, is that we have different, you have to understand, social media, man. It's all about the Benjamins. It's all about the Benjamins, People are going to report on this case. But not because people are reporting on this case or telling stories about this case, it means that it's legit information. Everybody was going to come with that, I got the phone call, my sources, all of that stuff, right? And they're going to throw a bogus ass story, man. Why? Because they want the views, because they're chasing that money. That's what social media is about, At least a big part of social media, not everybody, right? Not everybody does it for the money. And because of these people who are throwing bogus ass stories to the people, brainwashing the people, having the people believe that what they're saying is true, the detectives are upset about that, right? Because he said, do not believe the keyboard warriors, right? That's how he named these people who are actually creating this fake narrative, right? Like when I see a story, I talk about it, but I express my doubts. Like the one I put yesterday. I expressed my doubts. I like, what? Like being in locked up in prison. I know how stuff works. Jake is not the first time in jail, so he should know what to do, what not to say, right? So for somebody to come with that, there's a inmate X or somebody who was playing the role of an inmate, getting all this information out of Jake. I was like, man, that's too quick. Like, how can Jake be confined his doing to somebody he only met for a week? It does not make sense, right? That's in my opinion, right? I told the story, but I expressed my feeling, right? My feeling. Other people told the story and defended that. Like, it doesn't matter who say that. At the end of the day, everything is coming from a source that we don't know. And once it comes from that source, you don't know if that information is valid or not. And they're just keeping it real, And on the Tira, actually put the perfect example. Like, how are you gonna put me on the same category as all these different channels, platforms who are spreading bogus information, right? How can you do that? It's basically, he said, it's like me putting you guys on the same boat as every police officer who been involved in shady stuff. You know, you can't do that. In every, like you said, and everything, and every plato, there's gonna be bad apples and good apples. That's how you have to see it, man. Not everybody is the same. And at the end of the day, the only people that can judge that is the viewers. It is your responsibility, man, as a viewer, to give that view to a person who is credible and who you know is not gonna feed your lies. Because once you give that power to a person who's just throwing bogus information, give them those views, pushing that channel, pushing that video, this person's gonna be motivated to be like, yo, you know what? This one did pretty well. I lied about it, but the people seen it. The people liked it. Let me do it again. That's how I feel that those guys might feel about the case. But at the end of the day, man, shout outs to on the Tira, Amen Belloso. His great work, what he's doing is an excellent thing. And don't let nobody, man, don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You're doing a good job. At the end of it, as long as you're happy with yourself, F what everybody thinks. You know, the guy's good, doing a good job, and that's all that matters. Simple as that. So, with this being said, with this message, keep doing your thing and stay positive. We are out.